The 2020-2021 school year was like no other in living history. It tested the very nature of how we lead our lives and the very nature of education itself. It brought front and center the issue of connectedness in an ever more virtual world where technology provides both better opportunities for global oneness and yet takes away from some of those very opportunities for connectedness all at the same time. It brought to a new light the overarching crisis in education globally, nationally, and locally that we are not reaching all kids all of the time, that the achievement gap is growing, and that class, race, and equity are all at play within a greater socio-political system that's thrived on inequity for so long. We saw through the lens of trauma, a vulnerability we experienced together in my classroom and across the globe, and we answered each other with empathy, compassion, creativity, love, and respect. With this new light shed and the realization that it's now or never, some saw an opportunity in the global pandemic to reinvent themselves, their classrooms, and to have the students lead the way. At the core, I've always believed teaching is about building relationships, about fostering trust and mutual respect, creating a love for learning, a thirst for knowledge, about an exchange of information and the important discussions and conversations about literature in our world, about harnessing the power of those who came before us and listening to their observations, their warnings, their findings, their foibles, their stories, and applying what we learned to live out and tell our own stories and look at our own world through new and exciting lenses. Instilling that sense of discovery and adventure into learning in authentic and meaningful ways that acted as a lifeline for students and their families is what drove and invigorated my sense of passion about teaching this past school year the most. I saw students and their families lost at a proverbial sea, and I used the virtual landscape we created together as a safe harbor for all. Our fully virtual classroom became a sanctuary, a haven amidst the storm, with siblings, parents, uncles, cousins, peers, and group homes, all tuning in with my students to share, learn, and create together. Even when fully in person, we maintained the Zoom community for all, as my in-person students and I were fully aware how much us being there every day for the rest of our class meant to those students still at home, that they would not be lost, that they would not be forgotten, that they mattered, that what they had to contribute to our collective learning mattered, that who they are and how they view and treat the world and themselves matters. And the global pandemic also taught us something new and reminded me of something old I'd forgotten. It taught that what our children want more than anything is to feel a part of their community, to feel connected so much with the community they can see themselves becoming productive members of that community as both teens and adults. It reminded me that teaching has always been about enchanting the disenchanted, showing the magic of learning to all, engaging students in ways that meet them in the world they live in right now, today. It is about authentic learning that's culturally relevant and meaningful to their lives. It's about teaching that how we treat each other matters, that what we say matters, that how we choose to live matters. This is where community comes into play in such an integral way, giving the students templates for life, mentors to emulate, community members to intern and connect with, and global connections to peers and artists around the world to show we are all in this together. The global community is the real teacher and was ever present in my classroom this past year. I was also reminded there are never enough tools in the toolbox when it comes to engaging students in learning. So last school year became also about combining, recombining, reinventing, and redefining. And I attended over 126 hours of virtual conferences and professional development in a year's time in my attempts to be as innovative as possible in order to better engage and serve my students. I tied them in with groups of students from across our state, the country, and the globe at every opportunity, from virtual field trips to taking part in contests, to having students pilot virtual programs for the Asheville Art Museum and the WNC Nature Center. We wrote gratitude letters to local and not so local veterans and active duty emergency service workers and various community members who donate to our school. My students have been and will continue participating in a Global Voice Arts project with a local singer and songwriter, and working with other artists and residents to create projects involving responding to the arts from all of our experiences as a way to connect with our community and our world. The students and I also created a guest speaker series together, Thirst for Thinking Thursdays, with the theme of the journey. And the class chose not only the title and theme for our series, but a touchstone text and a touchstone song played at the beginning of every session. Students created questions for the guest speakers both before and during the events, interacted with them via Zoom chat and direct dialogue, and took notes and wrote up key details and personal and content area connections with a focus on academic writing. Guest speaker topics included a journey in civil rights with a local activist and writer, journey through Earth with a local geologist, a journey of lenses with a local photographer, a refugee journey with Mona, a talking partner from Syria, and A Journey of Sound, a 2-day artist in residence experience with a world renowned drummer and social activist from South America. Students began to look forward to school on Thursdays in new ways, to get excited about joining Zoom and interacting with our guests. Students heard about personal and professional journeys and how life obstacles often affect our paths, but yet how each guest speaker still ended up where they knew they were meant to be. And that, above all, gave our kids hope. Hope for their future, hope for our future, hope in art as a means of social activism and transformation, and hope for a future where their lives matter and what they do and say and how they live make a difference. The students also helped me explore and utilize a variety of tech platforms for engaging and galvanizing our sense of connectedness. And we really enjoyed experimenting with all these together and worked as a team to develop how we use each. I also added other tech elements suggested by students, like the use of emojis for grabbing attention and organizing assignments, to student cell spam texting, to using Snapchat for creating root word flashcards, to creating a classroom YouTube channel, an Instagram gallery, Twitter, and Spotify accounts. The students continually pushed me to be innovative, flexible, and to take risks with them, asking them to help me shape this new educational digital landscape for us all. The students steered my focus on providing authentic and experiential inquiry-based research and writing experiences via responding to and writing about the arts, classroom discussions and showcases, hosting those guest speakers every Thursday for our series, our breakfast club morning chats and jazz lessons, researching racial injustices in our area, and connecting these to larger historical events, tying this all together with student interest, choice, and career exploration, provided students with a thirst for lifelong learning like I've not witnessed in over 20 years of teaching. The students taught me how to teach them best, and I am so much better for it. Together, we prepared each other for our tomorrow by overcoming today's obstacles, and we all grew in ways we could have never imagined. The classrooms we created together held us up through one of the toughest times in our contemporary history. We laughed, we cried, and we gave each other hope that our lives can make a difference and we can make a better world, one lesson at a time.